Hey guys, how you doing tonight? As you can see, I'm doing pretty good. So I was goofing around my acoustic earlier, and I can feel on these strings they're really dirty, and you can even see if you look close enough, they're bad. They need to be changed. So tonight, what I'm going to show you how to do is how to change your guitar strings, especially on an acoustic. With different guitars, there's different ways of doing it. With acoustics, you got these pins. So, anyways, I'll show you guys how to change strings on an acoustic guitar. Stay with me. Alright, so the next step is after you've gathered the materials you're going to need, aka tools, it's time to take these old strings off and remove capos if you have them. Alright, so what I like to do is I'll put my string winder tool on there and just start zipping it down. And I keep hitting the string a little bit until it loosens up. Let go of it. See how loose it is now, obviously? And I'll come around the back of it and I'll just keep unwinding it and eventually just pulls right out. Alright, so the next step here, there's two different things you can do here. You can go through all the strings and get them loose like this. As you see, it's still connected to the bottom part from that pin. I'll show you what that does here in a second. But you can either take all the strings off and do that, or you can do one by one. I'm going to do all of these in one shot just because that's the way I like to do it. So now that all the strings are off the tuning pegs, you get all this excess here that's stuck from these little white dots, or whatever you want to call them. They're pegs, but if this is your first time ever tuning a guitar, or stringing a guitar, you're probably not going to know what those are. Now we're going to need the needle nose pliers. Just grab onto the peg and I just rotate it slightly back and forth. Oops. And then pull out. And repeat that same process for all the other tuning pegs, or all the other string pegs as well. Pull right out. And there you go, there's your old strings. Alright. On to the next step. Okay, so this next step is totally optional, but I'm going to go ahead and say that every guitar player does this, and that is, while you got all the strings off, as you can see, look how dirty this is. Let's clean it. You know what I mean? You can't get to this stuff with especially the guitar head. You can't get to that stuff with the strings on. What I've got here is some breaking new technology called some damn paper towels. Yeah, and what I like to use for my acoustics, actually I use for all my guitars, Pludge. You know, that works great. Now don't spray like all over. That's that's not how you do this. Grab your rag, put a couple bursts into the rag, set the can down, right? They got the special stuff that I use for that, and that's this finger tone grease, this tone finger grease stuff. That's what I use. Guitar string lubricant. That's what I use for this. If you want to use this on your guitar neck or your fretboard, go for it. But I'm very particular about my fretboards, so maybe you can use it on there. I've never done that, so. But yeah. Anyways, moving on. Get everywhere on the guitar, scrub her up, make her look pretty. Sometimes it's easier to set the guitar down on the ground to get to some of those hard to reach places. Front of this neck, man, I need some love. down, moving on to the next one. Give her a fold, one more fold, couple bursts. Moving on. All right, so let me just show you this before I even start working on it. Look at that. Just dusty, man. I don't play as often as I want, man. All right, next step. Time for the strings. All right, so when you crack open one of these packs for the first time, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna show you. It's gonna say some numbers on here. This one says 12-054. That means that your smallest string's 12, your biggest string's 054. Also, if you flip it on the back, it'll show you exactly what the strings are as well. They always start out with, at least I'm pretty sure they always start out with, no, this one's different. Okay, so some things are different. These ones open up with the smallest string first, which is the 12. The 12 is the smallest string on the set. And the biggest one is the 54. Really gonna sound good, I bet. I normally play on 10s, so this ought to be different. Alright, so we're gonna work the other way back. Starting with the E string, number 12. 12. Alright. You'll probably see something that says 10 or 9, unless somehow you magically found a way to get, unless you accidentally picked up like heavier gauge strings, which I mean that's fine. You can start out with heavier gauge strings. I would start with something smaller. My first rodeo, you know, 9s probably. 10s are good too. I normally play on 10s, so acoustics, normally 11s, so not sure how much I'm gonna like the 12s, but these things were free, so you won't hear much argument out of me. Somebody wants to give me a free set of strings to try out? I'll try them out. I'll try them. Alright, so this is the tricky part. These tuning pegs, I always want to say tuning peg. I always want to say tuning peg. These pegs have a slot in them, alright? See if I can get my damn camera to focus. When you turn these around, you can't see, I know. There is going to be a slot cut down the center. And that's where you're going to want to put the end of this. You got one end with a little circled guy on the end, and the other end's nothing. It's just the end of the string. This end is going to fit down inside that. You'll run it down, you're going to run the string down the hollow point of the peg, and then you'll shove the pin in. So, for example, I'll take the end of my guitar string, I'll put it in, down on the guitar, on the right side of the guitar. And I'll take the end with the hollow point of the peg, and I will make it fit with the string, and I'll push it down, okay? First part. Now I'll take the other end of the string, and I'll come down, and I'm gonna wrap it. I try to go 3 times. I try to wrap it 3 times, and then after you wrap it 3 times, once, twice, third, you push your coils down, and then you go over the 3 coils. It's very important. You have to go over the 3 coils you just did and into the hole in your tuning peg. So again, you'll run it down, you go 1, 2, 3, you're gonna push the coils down, and then you go right over the top of it. See if I can't get a better shot for you here. Alright, so here I go. Got my one end. I'm gonna go once, push down, twice, push down, third time, push it all down. You can go right over the top of it. Alright? Alright, there it is. When it comes through your tuning peg, the part that's coming through needs to be on the top of everything. You'll see your string coming in, you'll see the wraps, and you'll see it coming around again, and you'll see that at the very end of it all, this piece here is what's on top. the piece of the string that's coming through the tuning peg is the highest part of the string. Then, as you can see, I grab it with my pliers and then pull it tight. Don't yank too hard, you'll snap the string. I've done that. Boy, that makes me mad. Just give it about 35% pull, and then you're good. Let go. There you go. You get the first one right there, okay? Next thing I do is I push down on the tuning peg. Here we go again. Push down on the wooden peg that's down at the bottom on your bridge. And you want to nice and easily turn this. Alright? And some guitars have these little gizmos here that hold the string down. You're going to want to make sure you guide them into the slot and underneath the little metal column I have here. You just keep tuning it up. And keep your finger on the peg as you do it, because as you start to tension this, it's going to pop that peg out. Eventually though, you'll get it tight enough and the load won't be over the back end here, it'll be over the center. So just keep tightening it up, and you can hear it click and do weird stuff. You'll feel the peg start to pop a little bit. You'll be alright though. So now I rest my finger over it and I'll pull up on the string. It ain't going nowhere. That one's secure. Alright, so now you get either your needle nose pliers out or your fancy little tool, and you snip it about 1.5 inches from the tuning peg. At least that's what I do. Alright, there's one piece there. Alright, high E string is done. Moving on to the others. Man, these things suck. All right. Alright, so now what you're going to do is, guys, you're going to grab the next piece off your stack. Alright, now the next one I grabbed is the 16. Alright, so as we're going up the numbers, we're going up the neck. Alright, so here I am, next string going down in. Grab me a peg, hollow point lined up with the string. Hollow point lined up, that's great. Give it a little push, line it up 3 times around. 1, 2, 3, then over all the coils through the tuning peg, alright? I'm going to move my tuning peg here just so I can have a better access point for the string. Once, twice, 3 times. Push it down. Push it through. Whoa. See, and that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. We'll try it again. Once, twice, 3 times. Push it all down. And push it through. Making sure that my guitar string coming through the tuning peg is on the top. And I'll grab it with my needle nose pliers, and I'll very nice and easily pull it tight. Okay, that's good. There's the next one. So now I hold the peg, tighten it up. Alright, and there's the second string. And then snip the excess. Snip the excess. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to repeat the same procedure for the rest of the strings. Obviously the next string is the next biggest one, the 24. And I'll throw that on here. And I'm going to do the same for the 32, the 482, and the 54, all working my way all the way up. I'm going to knock this out real quick, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to string up the third string here, but I want to do a close-up so you can see what's going on. Alright, so I tried stringing this up earlier and I messed it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you how to make sure you do this the right way. So you make sure you move your tuning peg to where you can get a good access at the hole after you're done your 3 wraps. If you've got extra string, you did the three wraps, and you're tightening it up and it's just super loose and everything's going to hell on you really quick, it's alright. Just unravel it, let it out like I've done here. That's exactly what has just happened to me. And this time you're only going to do 2 wraps, alright? So you're going to pull it tight, push it down, check your peg, 1 wrap, 2 wrap. And it'll fight you because nothing's simple. And then send it over the top of everything. Alright, hold it all with your left hand. Grab your needle nose pliers. My goodness. And then cinch it down tight. Alright, so now we've got all of our strings. And they're not tuned. Alright, so there's 2 different ways to do this. Actually, that's a lie. There's like a bunch of different ways to do this, but I'm only going to show you 2. First option is, you got this fancy dancy little thing on the side of your guitar called a guitar tuner. It's built in. You hit this button, you see some blinking stuff going on there. You hit a note, it tells me I'm in a G. It's supposed to be in an E, so I can use that. That's pretty cool. But you just started a guitar. You got a guitar maybe that doesn't have that in there. You got something you got out of somewhere. You don't know where. It was a gift or whatever. But it doesn't have that, you know, it doesn't have the special tuner on the side of the guitar. It's just wood. Can't tune wood, can you? No. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use my phone. So what you can do is download an app, and they're free, guitar tuners, or you can just go to YouTube, which you're already there now. You're watching me. What you can do is, you want to go to YouTube, type in standard tuning for a guitar, and it'll list them all off from the fat string to the skinny string, which is both E, E, A, D, G, B, E, and it'll play it, and you'll hear it, and you tune the guitar to it. I really recommend you get the Guitar Tuner app. That's the best way, next to having it built in, and you play it. It'll tell you whatever note you're looking for, and you tune it to the according note. And that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so the first one is an E. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I need to get it to. It says I'm at A. Alright, I'm at E. Next one's going to be A. Okay, next one's D. That's pretty close on that. There's D. Going for G. Way off on that. I was on the D. There's a whole step off. How about that? Okay, G's done. Moving on to the B. There's the B going for an E. want to check it again. Okay, the E is no longer at E. After you worked your way all the way to the bottom, you know, as you're tightening up the neck with your tuning, your notes are going to change. So you got to tune it once to set the basics. You got to tune it a second time to make sure it's accurate. Okay. A's got to come up a bit. Solid. D. Solid. Going for the G. Going for a B. Solid. Going for the E. Alright, it's all set. Thank you for all your views, and please subscribe if you get the chance or if you're interested, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon.